Welcome back. For centuries, film has been used as a tool to not only create awareness on pressing matters, but to create discourse around various social issues that we face in the hope of finding solutions. This evening, we're joined in studio by the founder of Fabulous Flix project, Hilda Nathneal, to speak on the premiere of 3 short films under the theme domestic violence. Hilda, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Briefly, just talk to us, Hilda, about these 3 films that have been produced under this theme, domestic violence. Such a serious, topic, issue, and also talk to us about what various aspects of domestic violence they will touch on.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So, to start off, Feminist Flix project was actually founded in 2020. It was during the time of COVID. It was an idea that we've been having with a couple of friends that we wanted to actually already touch on information, or rather to get information of what is actually really causing domestic violence in our society. So in 2020, we finally started the project, and we started with our first short film that time. It was called Steven and Anna. So in that movie, we were actually looking at how, if you don't get help. So this was a movie about a couple who lost a child, and then they didn't actually take the precautions, and so the men resorted to using drugs and alcohol to actually cope. So these are some of the issues that we see in our society. And then after that premiere, we actually continued producing more films. So the ones that we are going to premiere now on Friday, they were sponsored by NAMFISA. It's 3 of them. They are educational films. They are touching on different issues. So one is about a young underage lady who got romantically involved with an older man, which is obviously illegal in the context of our country or in the law of the Namibian setting. The second one is about a young boy who was being mistreated at home, so then he ended up running away. And then the last one is about a lady who has trauma that she never really dealt with. So every time she tries to sleep, then the images start replaying.
Mm-hmm. Does Fabulous Flix projects only focus solely on, domestic violence issues and matters such as that? Because you mentioned the first film that you did in 2020 during COVID times was also, similarly related.
Yeah. So for now, that is actually our focus. We wanted to have a focus area, although we are branching out where we are busy starting another project where we would like to also interview real people who have gone through real trauma. So, and also just try to draw lessons from that and to inform or to educate the people where they can actually get help. So at the moment, we are solely focusing on, domestic violence.
Of course, I'm going to assume that in an effort to be able to speak on a topic of this nature and then make film about it, because film, of course, is then used to educate the rest of the public or viewers about the certain matter. You obviously underwent some research doing this. Talk to us about what is it, you uncovered in terms of domestic violence, which of course is so easily interlinked with gender-based violence in the country. What is the status of GBV, in Namibia?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you have really been seeing a lot as well, I think rape is coming out as one of the violence or the sort of like the violence that is really leading, and it's affecting a lot of ladies. So, and some of the domestic violence that we are seeing it's actually really in the romantic setting, most of it. And so especially when we're looking or when we're trying to gather information or trying to gather sponsorships, you get some organizations that are like, no, that is not really in line of what we do, while others are like, this is something that is affecting everybody. Mm-hmm. It could be that even the secretary, who's receiving me in the organization is going through something similar. Mm-hmm. So it's one of that unspoken evil. And I think from now our statistics, it came out that rape is actually really topping in terms of domestic violence.
Yeah. You said earlier that you wanted to have a focal point for what you wanted your stories to expand on. Why specifically this, when you could have touched on anything else? You chose this subject matter.
Yeah, I think it's one of the, how do I put it? It's like the most common thing that we are really dealing with as a nation. I think this is really something that is affecting all of us. Whether directly or indirectly, and I believe that is one of the things that is not really getting a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. So one of the Fabulous Flix vision and mission is actually also to go to schools to start teaching the little people. The children are obviously easier to change their mindset, so that we can try to cultivate a nation, a culture, and a community of people who are actually better equipped than us, and also just how to deal with, if I say no, how to deal with a no, because as it is now, if you say no, then you know you could end up as a casualty, as a victim. So we want to use the films as well to educate the young people in schools mostly. Yeah.
And of course, producing and being in film and television is not easy, and I'm sure this was no easy task at all, and you undertook to do 3 of them simultaneously. Talk to us about this process.
Yeah, I think that would not have been possible without the assistance of Namfisa, who actually really came forth and sponsored these 3 films. But yeah, no, it was not easy. At some point we even wanted to give up. There was one of the films that we had to shoot twice because then the footage also just went missing. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of that. The industry, our Namibian industry in terms of film, we are not there yet. Obviously we are not getting a lot of support as well. So it was definitely not easy. But I think without Namfisa, it would have obviously not been possible. But yeah, we were able to pull it off. And also, I would also like to thank obviously my circle of friends, because with a very small budget, we had to just work with the people in my circle. It was not, nobody was paid for it. But yeah, we were able to pull it off. I think at the end of the day, we just wanted to give the message across.
Yeah. And what is it that you hope that, you know, Namibian society, as they watch these 3 films, they learn and they take away from the messages portrayed in these films? Yeah,
I think one of the messages that I think is for the little, for teenagers especially, that there is always help. And I think one of the things that we are also trying to promote from this is the places where you can get help, where to go when you are in a situation. With the help of Ndapo Shali, she has a list of hospitals, a list of places where you can go to for free and the ones that you can pay. And also just to say that, yeah, it is not the end of the world and you can actually get help. I think that is really the message that we are trying to put out there. Yeah.
The premiere for the films are coming up, but talk to us about that.
So the premiere is going to be on Friday. Once again, we were lucky to get the assistance from Windhoek International School. They were able to give us a venue where we'll then be doing the premiere. It will be starting at 18:30 for 19:30. So it's a red carpet event, and it's really, we have tried to invite a lot of stakeholders that we know that are also trying to educate and to touch on GBV. So yeah, we've gotten a good response so far. The MC for the event will be Mr. Franklin Chitaleni, and yeah, we'll be there from 18:30 then all the way to 2100 at Windhoek International School.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Hilda, thank you so much for being here this evening. All the best for the premiere and the success of the 3 films, and hope that it reaches the individuals that it needs to reach. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was filmmaker and producer Hilda Nathneal speaking to us this evening about the upcoming premiere of 3 of the films that they've recently produced under the fabulous Flix project, which focuses and centers around domestic violence. We've come to the end of this Monday evening's program. We leave you with a little bit of entertainment from Ease, titled Hey Mummy, from myself and the team. It's good night and thank you for watching.